Okay, today I'm going to talk to you about natural selection. Natural selection is basically the driving force behind evolution. So it's how species change over millions of years to become new species. So the first stage is the idea that we have different organisms born that have variation. So here I have two rabbits, apologies for my bad drawing, that are born with variation. So within a population, there is always variation. Variation just means variety, differences. So some rabbits might be born with small ears, and some rabbits might be born with big ears. There's just that natural variation between members of the same species. Now, the important thing is that the variation between species could give one of them a survival advantage. Now, what that means is this one here might be more likely to survive because it has better hearing. So it has a survival advantage. So if I imagine I have a fox coming along right here. Again, apologies for my terrible drawing. If I have a fox coming along, I could see that this one is more likely to hear the fox come in and is more likely to escape. Whereas this one is less likely to hear the fox come in, so it's more likely to get eaten. So I could see that this one would get eaten and this one would survive. That natural variation has given a survival advantage. This means that this rabbit here, with the gene for slightly longer ears, is more likely to be able to reproduce, to produce more rabbits, also with those bigger ears as well. So we can see this is how natural selection works. We have the idea of variation between members of the same species. We have a particular characteristic that provides a survival advantage. Because of that characteristic, they are more likely to survive. Therefore, they're more likely to reproduce, and therefore that gene, so the gene here for the bigger ears, is more likely to be passed on to the next generation, to their offspring. Now, this process is not a fast process. This process can take millions and millions of years. It can take many, many hundreds or thousands of different generations. But that is the main mechanism behind it. So just to summarize, natural selection is is basically the driving force behind evolution. It's how we have changing in organisms over a period of time. It's based on variation between a population, a particular characteristic providing a survival advantage, therefore that particular gene being more likely to be passed on to the offspring because that individual has lived long enough to be able to reproduce. Apologies for the fox, and thank you very much.